This is a brand new video and it's something different. I'm also building a custom Franken scooter, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a step-by-step on how to put a 70cc kit in a Zuma 50cc scooter. So the first thing we need to do after we got all the plastics and so forth off is get it cleaned up, and it's amazing what a little cleaning will do. It's clean. Now I have to admit this is not the same one I took a picture of because I had already cleaned it, but anyhow, so you got to get it clean down there to work on. This was a really nice Zuma. It was broken down in here. Someone had put a wrong threaded nut on there and it had loosened up and made some real wicked noise. So when that happens, scooters are like a mystery to 99% of the people out there. And you know, I've got parts, so whatever it would have needed I could have probably just pulled out of my parts. And I happen to have some 70cc kits. They're not expensive ones, they're just your eBay $99 ones, and so that's what's going to go in here. So let's get started. So after taking off the little side cover here, we've got to take off the exhaust. That's not too difficult. And all this plastic sheeting, I've already got the spark plug wire off, and just pull it down to the head. Okay, the exhaust is off, plastic cover, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the carburetor. I want to get this rubber mat out and clean in there real good, and I think I'll do that even before I do the piston. And now you take the head off. There's just 4 bolts, and there you go. And the piston is out. I took that out. That's the little clip. Goes right in there, right in there. And now I'm just going to push the piston pin out, and we'll have the piston out. Since this one ran good, and it ran really well, I'm going to leave the connecting rod bearing in there unless I find something that makes me think it's bad. The piston really looks good. I mean, I've seen them really scored, and this one ran well. It just seemed to, I've got a hill around my house here, and it just doesn't come up the hill like I remembered, but it could just be that, that could just be that I always had a 70 kit in it. So we'll see. I put the gasket on, and I did go with the new connecting rod bearing, wrist pin bearing. I'm using some synthetic assembly lube. I've got the rings on the piston, and it's important to have the little arrow pointing down towards the exhaust. Now that I've got the rings on, I slid the piston in, and I slid the wrist pin in, and I've got these little clips. And I'm telling you, that's the hardest part of this whole job, is getting this last clip in, because the other clip's in on the other side, but it's much easier to put that on when you're on the workbench holding the piston in your hand. So usually takes a couple tries, and I'm using these needle nose pliers right here. You can see it in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the clip so that it is sitting somewhat like that, where you've got the clip, some part of the clip that's through that little channel, that little opening. And I'll put it a little bit more, and there you have it. That is the clip installed. Just make sure that it's all the way down in that recess, all the way around. It calls for 120 inch-pounds. And I'm going to do a crisscross pattern, my torque wrench here. And there she is, all installed.